Okay, now we're going to move on to women's rights and how the 14th Amendment has been applied. So, just to give you some background on women's voting rights and really what was considered the first wave of the women's movement, and that was the goal of getting voting rights. And that occurred in 1920 with the 19th Amendment. So, obviously, know the 19th Amendment, just like the 24th Amendment and also the 26th Amendment, which made the voting age 18. All of those amendments expanded suffrage. So they would be examples that you could use if the scenario or argumentative essay was about this topic. Now, the second feminist wave really occurred after World War II, partially as a result of women going to work during World War II, and then also women being inspired by the book The Feminine Mystique, which was by Betty Friedan, who also founded this first organization listed here. And basically, it was about the notion that women, although they liked being moms, felt like there was something missing, and that resonated with women, and women wanted more education and job opportunities. The key organization that's going to lead the second wave is now the National Organization for Women, and one of their primary goals was to pass an Equal Rights Amendment. So some key pieces of legislation, the most important one to know, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is supposed to apply to you cannot discriminate in employment based on sex. You cannot segregate in public facilities based on sex, but there's a reasonable standard for that. So obviously it's okay to have separate bathrooms for men and women. But Title IX is really important. Title IX in the Education Act of 1972. This prohibited gender discrimination in federally subsidized education programs, including athletics. So this has had has caused a lot of progress as far as promoting women's athletics. Now, the Equal Rights Amendment has never been added to our Constitution. Basically, the Equal Rights Amendment would say you cannot discriminate against anyone based on sex. So that would include divorce rights, property rights, employment, like getting leases on an apartment or a car. But the main reason the Equal Rights Amendment has not passed over time is because women have not supported it. And so it has not been ratified. Many people feel like the 14th Amendment already says that people have to be treated equally before the law. So why does there need to be a separate amendment? All right, moving along. We already talked about Roe versus Wade when we looked at due process. But this is also an Equal Protection Clause issue. And just keep in mind that Roe versus Wade said that abortions could not be banned in the first trimester. They could be restricted in the second trimester. Now that's being challenged by many states who have essentially banned abortion during the first trimester. So that's one of the major court decisions that's going to be handed down this summer. All right, so the major case to know with regards to discrimination based on sexual orientation is Obergefell versus Hodges. This was the 2015 case in which a same-sex couple sued because they were not allowed to be married. This was a landmark case because the court basically said that the due process clause guarantees this as an individual liberty, and people have to be protected equally under the law. So states cannot deny same-sex couples from marrying.